Hello, you are listening to The Professional Artist. I am Echo Chernick, and we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans, simulcast on YouTube and Facebook. Please like, follow, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. I am located in my studio in Bellingham, Washington, north of Seattle. And today I have Sarah Dahlinger. And where are you, Sarah? You are in...
I'm in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, on the other side of the country. So, and so glad to have you on today. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here. And I'm excited to chat.
Your website is astrafauna.com, astrafauna.com.
Yes.
So, which you have some really awesome stuff. Oh my God, I wish I could draw creatures like you draw, or paint creatures like you paint. You paint the coolest creatures.
Thank you.
So tell us about yourself.
Like I said, I'm from New Hampshire. I'm a creature designer, and I do illustration, and I also do sculpting, digital sculpting. I'm a ZBrush artist as well. And I started off working in studios around 2006 and went out on my own around 2016. Astra Fauna started getting made around 2018. And we just launched the first book. Like, this is like pretty much the year anniversary of the first Kickstarter for the first book. And, I've been it was nominated for 2 Ennies. And then I've been focusing on building up that brand. So now that we have like book 1, I'm working into I want to make the role-playing game. I want to make some novels, illustrated novels, and more and more of that creature-filled world. So that's what I want to
tell people what Astra Fauna is.
You've seen it.
I've seen it.
So Astra Fauna is, right now, it focuses on 5 main protagonists, and they're scientist characters that are exploring their world. And it's like a completely new IP that I made. And basically the first book, which is Expeditions, Astra Fauna Expeditions, follows each protagonist as they go to a different world and then have the adventure and their explorations on that world. And that's what it is. And so eventually, it's going to start off with these 5 core worlds, and I'm going to expand out from there. And it's very creature heavy because I'm a creature artist. So there's a whole lot of aliens, and then there's some humanoid characters. There's no humans in the world, which is cool because it allows me to do a lot of things without people being like, well, people would never do that. And I'm like, well, there's no humans. So yeah. And so it's very, very creature centric. It's a bit solar punky. So it's funny. I'm a 40K player. I like the grim darkness of the far future a lot, but when I make stuff for myself, it tends to be a little bit more hopeful. So it was funny when I first made it. People were like, "Oh, this is a solar punk book," and I was like, "I don't know what solar punk is," but now I do. So yeah.
Right, so what's solar punk?
So solar punk is sometimes people call it hope punk too, or green punk or whatever. But basically, if you know cyberpunk, it's kind of like there's big corporations and everyone has robot hands, and it's like really bad and dark and gritty and stuff like that. Solar punk is kind of like, what if we all got together, even if there's corporations or even in a small community or whatever, and got super into sustainable growing and preserving the environment, and we like science, and we like horticulture and stuff like that. And I was doing because I was doing a lot of writing of Astra Fauna in 2020, I was just feeling like I wanted to make something that was nice when the world felt not nice, and I accidentally made a solar park world. That's how that happened.
Yeah. Accidentally made a nice place.
Exactly.
There are worse things to make.
Yep, exactly.
I made a happy place.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Aw, I'm looking at your ZBrush sculpts. They're so cute. So ZBrush is a way of sculpting online, and they look like they're actual, sculpted as if you sculpted them in clay, but they're all done digitally.
Yeah, exactly.
Explaining for people that don't know what ZBrush is, but they're on the computer, but they look like they're sculpted out of clay, but they're really, really cool. And you can light them, and then do you paint over them, or how do you do the fur and everything?
So like, yeah, I do paint over them. So it's like, when you start off with in ZBrush, you can really start off with like a little ball of clay. That's what it starts off with, like a little circle, and then you push and pull it and carve into it, and you like make a sculptor. Like instead of using like an actual like wooden tool, you use your stylus, and then you make what's called like a render, which is basically just like a flattened picture of that sculpture, and then you paint on top of it in Photoshop. Is how I do most of my stuff.
It's a lot less messy than real sculpting.
That's actually why I do it. I have a thing. I have a thing about clay touching my hands. I do not like it. So, but turns out that I really kind of like sculpting. So it's a great way for me to do both.
And better for the plumbing, so you don't have to wash the clay down the So how it looks, and then you just take like a picture of it and then paint over it. Oh, your little guy's so cute with their fur. Your cat-like creature, the one you said in the cover, people think looks like a cat.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, Tack. Yep. People love her. I love her too. She's great. She's like, she's my ultra extroverted character. So like each one of the characters is like, kind of has like a different personality, obviously. And some of them are a lot like me and some of them are a lot not like me.
And you got nominated for any award twice. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I love your big no AI involved.
No.
Line right on your site. It's sad that you have to put that, but important because people can't tell the difference nowadays if there's AI involved or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and like the reason I started putting it there is because I start with the sculpt and because it's so detailed. I had some people at a convention that I was at walk by my table and really dismissively just be like, that's AI. And they didn't even stop to look. Like they didn't even stop to ask. And like, I kind of have no problem with people ask. Like, I've had people, when I was doing the Kickstarter last year, I had some people say like, we want to support the project. We want to promote the project, but we're unwilling to promote a project that uses AI. And I was like, I started Astra Fauna 6 years ago. AI is copying me. Like, I'm not using AI. And so I started putting that everywhere because I don't mind if people ask questions, but I don't want it to be dismissed offhand.
Have you had a lot of problem with AI copying your work?
I mean, like, I don't think any more than anyone else, there's been some artists that are much, much worse than I am, So yeah. I'd say, I guess, the average amount,
Yeah. We were talking about this beforehand, so I guess we'll delve into it. So you have had a lot of impact. You've been impacted by AI a lot in your career path. You were talking about how AI has impacted career art, concept artists, and as a creature designer and stuff, because it's really impacted concept artists a lot in the industry. Yeah. So what have your experiences been with other concept artists and, with your career path and your journey and, how it's affected your choices and where you're going? Luckily you've made your own, you're making your own path and your own, your own art and your own IP and everything, which is great. So you're not relying on anybody else's IP, but some people aren't so lucky.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's funny, Astra Fauna, because I've been making it like for 6 years and because the first book came out yesterday, it's almost felt like a little sanctuary, like a little oasis for me. So I kind of already was in the mindset of I'm going to invest, like this is going to become my thing. Like, this is, so like when AI hit the scene really big, like I was already sort of transitioning out. Like I did have a dream of being like, we're going to do concept art for movies. I'm going to make creatures and monsters for like Hollywood films. That's like where I wanted to go with like the client work that I was doing. And and I was having like, some trouble getting that because I'm not from LA and stuff like that. I was getting a few things here and there, but like nothing really. And then like Astra Fauna started and the Kickstarter went really well. And I was like, I think I kind of want to do this. So I was kind of already transitioning into Astra Fauna when AI was like rising up, and then it just rose up and like destroyed all those jobs that I was hoping to eventually be in that industry that I was hoping to eventually get into in a larger way. And so I kind of just like turned around, and there was like a tidal wave behind me, but I was sort of already on the island, you know? And like, so I was
you'd made your own little safe space and kind of
exactly. So like it really has felt like, you know, and I guess it had to be like a really, really tall little island to not get hit by a tidal wave. So like, let's just say it's like a really, really mountainous one. So I was like standing there being like, wow, this is awful, but I kind of feel cool here. So I've been trying to focus on building that brand out and stuff like that. And like, you know, I'm not opposed to doing like concept art for film and everything, but a lot of those jobs have been very heavily impacted. So I don't know if that's like a thing that will happen in my life now, but it's sort of okay because I have my little island. So
yeah, your little floating island. That's kind of
exactly.
riding the tides. So
exactly,
it's all the more important to follow your instincts in your art, you know, and not try to you know, glom onto what's popular. If you have a dream, to just, you know, to follow that, which is exactly what you did. So you had a concept of what you wanted to do, and you followed that, and it held true to you, which is good. It kept you, you know, it kept you safe. You did what you wanted to do, and it was, you know, it kept you safe, and now you're doing that. So, you know, which is important and awesome.
It's been really good. And now, like, because it's mine and because I'm doing that own world and everything, you get to kind of make all the rules. So I'm just like, well, what happens next? Like, do I make more figurines? Do I make a plushie? Do I make another book? Do I, you know, what other Kickstarters am I doing? You know? So I have all these options of where I can go. The hardest part is actually deciding which one to do. Really. Yeah.
So what are you going to make next? What have you made?
So have you did you know what the little seed pod things? Did you see those? The little light up things with the baby sharks in them?
No, I didn't see those.
Oh, you didn't see those?
So are they online?
Yeah. If you
on your website.
Oh my god, my dog is like digging in his bed. Hey, could you not?
I see the worry dolls. I see the play mats. I see the art prints.
So the seed pods were like a little. The seed pods you probably only see on my Facebook. I can get you an image like later on so you can see them. But they were. I did a prototype. I only made 20. They were a little 3D print. So I got a 3D printer. So I took my sculpts. I got a 3D printer. I printed it. It's a little tiny alien shark that fits in a little like tube, and then there's a little light, and it can like change colors and everything, and it's like a little stasis pod, like to hold the little baby.
Oh my god, that sounds so cute.
Yeah, and like it just holds it in like hibernation. So that's like I think that's gonna be the next Kickstarter I do. I want to make like, you know, hundreds of those, but if you're gonna do that, I don't want to print each individually in house. Like that would be what the Kickstarter raises the funds for, is to like get. You can hire someone who has like a sea of 3D printers to print the little figurines, and then they'll come to me, and then I can paint them and assemble them in the little pods and stuff like that.
I know somebody that you can hire with a sea of 3D printers actually that already does that. If you're looking for somebody locally. So they actually already have a sea of 3D printers. They're doing work for somebody else, and he can do that.
Because
he has them running all the time. Actually, he already prints parts of other things for other people. So if you
awesome. Yeah, because I have 2 3D printers, and they're in my garage, and you can only print if it's over 65 degrees. And I live in New Hampshire, so I can print for like 4 months out of the year. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be a print house. Like I have them so I can prototype, and then I'll raise the funds to get a sea of 3D printers to print them, and then I'll make the figurine.
Got it.
You know?
Got it. Well, yeah. Emma's probably listening, so I will put you in touch with my 3D printer person.
Awesome.
3D printers, and they actually do that. So, you know, they love doing that. So
Oh, good.
So yeah, they absolutely adore making lots of cool things. It's just it excites them. They just I don't know. They're kind of very love. They love having a sea of 3D printers and pulling things out and being like, look, it makes things. This is so cool. So
it's so cool. It's like it's super cool. I just my state is not really conducive to sea of 3D printers. And I mean, I like, if I get my garage hooked up with a heating system and a filtration system, I can, but that's a few, that's out. That's like out.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yep.
You don't need a kitchen. You could just put them all in your kitchen,
Yeah.
Artists don't have kitchens. They just have, printers.
See of 3D printers.
A sea of 3D, sea of 3D printers, hot pot, that's kind of how it works.
We're good.
So,
we're good. Yeah.
We just kind of step over the printers and around all of the props and everything. Ask any artist. So it's like, why is that giant spear in your kitchen? No reason.
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Totally normal. Oh God, my porch. It's amazing. Like my porch is like half pieces of monsters that are in various states of priming and painting and finishing and everything. And it was really funny. My UPS guy once wrote me a note, and he wasn't wrong. He was like, "Do you play Warhammer? Do you want to play Warhammer with like a group of local people?"
If you don't, do you want to play Warhammer? Because you look really like you must.
You look like you want to play Warhammer.
You need to play Warhammer if you don't already. So
No.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can kind of tell an artist or a Warhammer player or something.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah. I was like, "Oh yeah, you spotted me. You spotted me."
Why?
He's not wrong. I have a lot of Tyranids. I do.
Why can you tell?
Yeah.
You can always tell artists. Yeah, we could. So my husband and I got invited to a totally normal white elephant party once, and so this is just a random story, and we got like a normal people white elephant party with like normal people, and so we had to bring, what a white elephant party is, where you have to bring like weird gifts and stuff, and so I brought some gift, and he comes down with this gift, and it's all wrapped in this super girly paper, and I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Nothing," and I'm like, okay. And so he puts this like super girly wrapped gift in with the white elephant gifts. And I'm like, do I want to know what that is? And he's like, no, it's good. And it's a battle axe. So he's like, you got all these white, and he's like, he wrapped it in the most girly Christmas paper you could find. And these women at this very normal Christmas party are fighting over this battle axe. He's like, I wanted to wrap it in the most feminine paper I could. And he didn't expect these women are like having this war over this battle axe. It's like this replica battle axe. And he didn't see that they would be like, all like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this battle axe? But they're all like, I want the battle axe. And I'm like, did you just give away a battle axe? He's like, I just wanted to see their faces. And I'm like,
yeah, but I think that is such a good point, because people, I think it's so funny. It's like people are so scared, at least with my art, people are so scared to like it sometimes. It's like they're so scared to be like, oh my God, it's an alien creature and I love it. And like I'll have people like confess to me, they're like, I really like this creature, but it's very strange. And then I have to take the role of being like, well, I made the creature, so your weirdness is not like weird to me because I'm the source of the weirdness. And then you almost like need to give them permission to be weird. Like it's so funny. So it's like giving the battle axe, like it was basically, he was giving them permission to be weird. And then and then once you do, people would be like, oh, I can have the thing I like. I can be weird. Because people are so concerned about being weird. And
it's wrapped in feminine paper, not guy paper. It's not a guy present. It's a
lady present, and then they're like, oh my God, it's a battle axe for women. Like, I can have it, and then I'm not weird, but like you indulge in that weirdness. It's so
it's just so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So women. James says the women in battle axes both wonderful and terrifying. Oh, there was a battle. It was an epic. It was the most fought after item in this white elephant party.
Excellent.
So yeah. Yeah. So it is really funny. But yeah, you're right. You're right. You have to give them permission to like something. So
Oh yeah. So like the creature that I like, that I do that all the time. I have a deer, and half of his face is being eaten away by like fungus, and people will be like, "Oh, that's so cool," and then they'll be like, "Oh, but I don't know, it's kind of weird." And it's it's by far my most popular print, like by far. And I'll be like, I've sold hundreds of these. Like a lot of people like this deer, and people, and then they'll be like, really? And then like they'll be like, oh my god, I'm not that weird. Hundreds of people have the fungus deer, and like they'll happily buy it and everything. It's so funny.
Once they know it's okay to be weird,
It's like you almost have to give people permission to be weird, and I think it's so interesting because like I've already embraced it. Like it's not like a journey that I need to go on mentally anymore. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I made fungus deer. Like this is, something I did,
Yep.
and I'm like, and I don't think you're weird for liking it because I'm the person who made it. And yeah, but then like giving them permission, I think we need to give people permission to be weird a lot more, because it's more fun, I think.
You didn't normalize being, being a little bit strange. It has become definitely more normal to be weird nowadays,
Definitely.
which is cool, which is awesome.
Yeah, like being a gamer or like a nerd, or like even like people can just be like, oh yeah, I play D&D, and everyone's like, yeah, cool, everyone does. It's not like a thing anymore.
When I was a kid, it was a thing. It was.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, you were different. It was not cool. You didn't want to be different.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, exactly.
And now weird or different or being unique is okay, which I think is awesome. I think it's awesome to be unique and to look different and to act different and stuff, which I think is just finally it's more celebrated, and my kids don't see the difference as much, but I tell them, I said, it is becoming more accepted with each generation. It's slowly becoming more accepted. I see it now that I'm a little older. I see it becoming more accepted.
Oh yeah.
So, it is, which is cool, which is good. And we have to kind of keep that up. So, but you have to keep up, giving people permission through the art. And I try to do that with my art too. Like I paint a lot of women with, naked breasts and stuff, and I keep putting them out there because it's just becomes more normal. I notice that people come to my gallery and they peer in and they're like, oh my god, and then they come back and they're like, they peer in, and they come back and they come in a little bit, and then they come back and they walk around, and it gets more normal every time. They get a little bit less weirded out. They kind of, and then it gets a little bit more normal, and then and I'm like, the more they see it, the less weirded out they get. So
yep.
It's an artist's job to normalize things. So
yeah, cool. I think you're right. Yeah, you can guide people towards, and it's cool because like you can tell that they actually like it. Like you can tell that they want to like it, but they're like, oh, is it right that I like it? And I'm like, yeah, man, it's cool. I'm like, buy the fungus deer. Knock yourself out, man. Like it's not gonna hurt anyone.
No, it's it's your fungus deer is awesome. So I've that's why artists are important. I mean, it's we kind of visually guide what people see in the world. Like in my it's we guide what people see and they don't even really realize it, and we normalize like what they see, and it's really important that we pay attention to that. When we're doing stuff like when I've been doing my shadow run art for years, I noticed at the very beginning when I started doing my role-playing covers, there was not a lot of diversity in the role-playing covers. They were just like, a whole lot of white people. And I was like, we got to work on that. So, I automatically just diversified it from the very beginning. And that's become much more of a thing now, which is great. But it wasn't then, but it needs to be, that's sort of the things that needs to be guided by artists. It needs to be like, okay, we're going to just work that in there. We're going to diversify. We're going to have people of different sizes, shapes, looks, and people don't really notice that right away until, it becomes more normalized by artists doing that. And add the fungus deer in there, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden fungus deer are totally normal, and people didn't even notice that.
Nope. Like, I mean, thank God, with, like, you know, then you just have to be like, oh, like, you know, like Last of Us. And people will be like, I love Last of Us. And I'm like, I do too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, so what else you got coming up in the future?
I am, oh man, I have so many things. I actually really need to, I want to make like a chart and like write down everything I want to do, and then like do like a pros and cons thing, because like, so like the baby shark thing, that's something that I'm going to do. The little figurines. And then I'm like, because I can do sculpture and I can do illustration, I'm at the point now where I'm just like, and because I can make books, I'm like, what are we doing? You know, like, are we going in a more sculpting path? Are we doing a more illustrative path? Are we like going more into books? And I kind of have a tendency to want to do all of it. And so it's more of like a, what do I want to do first? Probably thing. So I think what I want to do, like, most is I want to make the role-playing game. Like, I want to make an Astra Fauna like TTRPG, like, you know, D&D but Astra Fauna.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
But I really, really want to do that. So I've been putting time and effort into that. And that, it might be a little bit of like a slow burn thing because I can't do it on my own. So I'm trying to look into people that can help me with distribution and stuff like that. And so a lot of the people that I've been chatting with, they're just booked up for like 2 years or 3 years or something like that, because, you know, they have their Kickstarter, you know, schedules already sort of mapped out. So while that's kind of, I don't know, simmering, you know, one of the things is I have the next novel like mapped out, so I can start doing that. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to start making sculptures that like can be hung on the wall. So like wall art, but sculpture. And
yeah,
the other thing that I'm thinking about looking into, again, sort of combating the AI thing, is maybe, and I'm really maybe on this, is looking more into, I used to be a watercolor artist before I was a digital artist. And so I'm like, do we revive watercolor like creature, you know, stuff? And I'm not sure. Like, I'm really not sure. Like right now I'm at a super, like, I finished my con season, I'm getting married in a month, and then I feel like I'll come up for air and be like, and now what? You know?
Yeah.
But I definitely have like a lot of different paths that I could lock down, and I just haven't quite decided exactly which one I'm doing first.
I think I'm always like that. I'm always like, I could do this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or what am I going to do? I was just thinking of something, just not to throw another path on your way, just because.
Why not? It won't hurt. I mean, I've already got like 5. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not that you have enough you're thinking of here, but I was just looking at your ZBrush thing, and I was thinking, because of something that I was working on. I was working on the Dragon Scroll for Shadowrun, which is this large manuscript that's a 2D manuscript that I did for Shadowrun, and the 2D manuscript, I wanted it to work in AR for Shadowrun, and so I programmed it so that it actually works on Halo AR, so that it works with your phone, so that it comes alive in 3D. And the app that it uses is called Halo AR, so it comes alive on your phone. But you can import 3D assets in it, including stuff that's made in like Halo AR and ZBrush, which are like 3D models and stuff, which actually like rise above it and can like move around in 3D, like your creatures and stuff, so that you can actually have them be 3D. So any of your creatures that you made, you can incorporate into like your role-playing game or anything that you make, since you have these models, to actually work in AR and stuff that you did in the future, since you have these models that you made, to work in this in the 3D AR element. So that might be another path that you might want to think about, since Meta and everything are coming out with the glasses and stuff that work in AR, so that your creatures could actually work, to be, a 3D element.
Neat.
I do a lot of VR gaming and stuff, and the VR headset and stuff will let you see 3D elements. And since you're making the models anyway,
Yeah.
you'd be able to see them so that you can. I haven't learned ZBrush and stuff yet. One of the things I want to do because I want to be able to make things that rise above the scroll. Right now, the most I can do is the flat images. But you could actually take those things you create anyway and have them rise above your stuff and bring your things to another level really easy. So if you need help, I can show you how to do that. It's so easy.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know about that, so that's cool.
Yeah, I can show you how to do that. It's super easy, and you already have all the stuff for it. It would just basically just add another element to it, and you could do it on the fly. I mean, you could have like your for instance, your cover, your Astra Fauna Expeditions cover that you have right now. If you had the model for your creature, I forgot its name, your creature, you could have the model like just rise up on top of it. You could program it so that anybody using the app, it would just be on top of it now. So when they use the app to look at it, or it would just automatically appear on any book that's already out there in the world right now. It's cool. It's cool as hell. So it's really
I didn't know.
neat.
I didn't know about it. Yeah,
it's new. It's like cutting edge new stuff. This is what I'm doing with the scroll right now. So, and it's super easy and it's super new, and I can show you how to do that. So if you wanted to, it's really neat. So
neat.
To give you more stuff to
just more. Yeah.
But that way, if anybody uses the app, it doesn't cost you anything, and it doesn't cost them anything. And if they're using the app or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, look, hey, my book's alive! What the hell?" Then they're like, "Oh, hey," and it would just like link to wherever you wanted to link to. So,
neat.
Way,
I had no idea.
Yeah, I know. But with the meta goggles and the glasses and all this stuff, I think AR is going to be more, coming in more and more in the future. So that's why I've been playing with the scroll with. So, but since you have the 3D elements, I should, it exists already. So, but I got to learn how to use ZBrush and stuff.
ZBrush is great. ZBrush is my favorite thing to use. Like it is. I've been using it since 2009. Yeah, 2009, and it's like my absolute most favorite program to be in at all, like all the time ever. It's not easy to learn. It's kind of a pain, and the UI is terrible. It's a lot better than it was, but yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass to learn. There are a lot more really good tutorials. Like when I tried to learn, there was like nothing. It was so bad.
How did you learn? Did you learn it in school, or did you teach yourself?
So I, okay. When I went to college, when I graduated, it was only a year old, so it wasn't taught in college. I went back to school for a certificate for modeling and animation, and there was unfortunately some politics that happened, and the dean, whatever, didn't want my professor to teach ZBrush. So even though my professor knew how to use ZBrush, he wasn't allowed to teach it. So I went and got that certificate, again, not learning ZBrush. I learned Maya and a whole bunch of other programs, but not ZBrush. So a year passes, that same professor contacts me again saying he has permission to teach ZBrush now. And if I wanted to, I could just, because my 9-to-5 job was like 3 blocks away from the school. He was like, if you just want to come down during class and sit in the back of the class, you can learn ZBrush. And so that's what I did. So I basically just went back to school for a third time to learn ZBrush specifically. Whenever he had a ZBrush lecture, he would just let me know because he was awesome. And then I would just scoot down to school because it was night school. So I think the classes ran from 6 to 10. And so that's what I did. And that's how I learned it. Yep.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yep.
So, yeah. So you actually had to take a class to learn it. So it's not something you could,
Yeah. Now I would say if you're going to learn it, the schoolism class, Justin Goby Fields teaches that class. It's great. It's really good. That's what I would recommend starting off. It's probably there's a lot of other resources, but that one, it's kind of what you need. It's not too expensive. if the full version, I think is like $1,000, but like the schoolism subscription, if you do the summer sale, it's like $150. So,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So like, I think it's like $300, but if it's the summer sale or the Christmas sale, it goes down to like $150. And I'd recommend that, that's how I'd go about it. Yep.
Yeah. And, I was looking at, artists, on, I forget what site it was on, because I was trying to find somebody to do some ZBrush stuff for the scroll. Because I'm like, I downloaded it and I was like, I don't have time to learn ZBrush right now. I learned
it takes a long time.
Yeah, I learned Studio Max a long time ago, but that was, I just decided I wasn't going to go into 3D modeling.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just like 2D better.
It's funny. 3D was like my thing. Like, I'm much more of a sculptor than I am an illustrator. Illustration to me happened sort of by mistake, because I got really hurt and I banged up my elbows really, really bad. And while I was rehabbing my elbows, I started just drawing and doing illustrations because it was like something I could do. Like, to do ZBrush, I'd like turn on my computer and get my tablet working and do ZBrush, and I could really work for like 10 or 15 minutes at a time. Like, I really, really messed my arms up. Like, I couldn't hold a pen for 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
The whole rehab took 4 years. So there was a long stretch of time where I could only like hold a pen for like 10, 15 minutes at a time. And so I started doing illustrations, and then much to my surprise, people started paying me for them. And so that's how the illustration part of my career started. Just like kind of accidentally. Like, so I'm a sculptor, and then people were like, "Oh, we like your illustrations. Would you like to sell me this?" Yeah. So that's how that happened.
That is the strangest way to talk about the journey. It's like, oh, how did you become an illustrator? Oh, well,
Yeah, it was part of my elbow rehab. Yeah. So
how did you hurt your elbows so bad, if I could ask?
I was doing a lot of art, and like I was doing, because I was working at a game studio, but I had like kind of a low level job, and I was trying to like get into like like a formal junior artist position or a senior artist position. So I was trying. I would work at a game studio, and game studio hours are really long. And then I would go home and I'd just crank on my portfolio the whole time. And then I'm also into weightlifting as well. So what it was like, I was doing 2 to 3 hours weightlifting at the gym. And then I'd be doing, at least 12-hour days, I got every type of tendonitis you can get so like you get golfer's elbow and tennis elbow and tricep tendonitis. I got all three at the same time in my I'm left-handed, and so in my left hand, and that pinched my nerve, and then I got nerve damage. And so that took quite a long time to heal.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yep.
So have you figured out how to work now that it's not going to come back?
Yeah, I've been, it was a really, really long journey. I know it's funny, like I'm kind of like a informal resource for a lot of my friends that they're like, I got tendonitis in this part of my body. Like, okay, I got you. Like I've had to fix so much tendonitis in my body. It's been gross. Like I basically have, it's very, very rare for me to have any pain now. And I can weightlift, I can, split wood in my yard, I can draw as much as I want. Like it was a lot of work. I did no surgery, no injections, no nothing. Like I just did a lot.
I don't even know what causes tendonitis. I don't even know what causes it. Just overworking it? Or?
Yeah, overworking the tendon. Yeah. So it was just like a lot of physical therapy, a lot of ice, a lot of stretching, it was just a lot. So it took a long time. But now I'm good. And now I'm even like, it's funny. I guess I'm like a little stubborn. People were like, you'll never fix that. And I was like, I'll show you. And, so now I'm, before my injury, I could bench. I've never been strong in like bench press. So I could bench press like, 50 pounds. Now I'm bench pressing like 80 pounds, so it's like, now I'm on the other side of the injury, and now I'm actually getting stronger, so
I'll show you.
Exactly.
Me, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It sounds a lot like me. It's like, you can't do this. Yeah, right. Hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a hold my beer sort of person. So and now I can draw for long days and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm back, and I heard that injury happened when I was 30 and I'm 40. So, it's been a long road, but we're good now.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So, and chopping wood. Yeah. I still like to chop wood. Chopping wood's fun.
Yeah.
So takes out the stress. So,
yeah.
So that sounds fun.
But yeah, so you could start your illustration career by being a sculptor and then messing up your arms so bad that you can't sculpt, and then starting to draw because, you can only hold a pen for 10 minutes at a time, and then boom, illustration career.
And then illustration career, and then suddenly you have an island and you're writing it.
Yeah, it's been a road. It's been a bit of a journey.
Yeah, so just follow your illustration dreams, even if you didn't know you had an illustration dream. You were planning on being a sculptor.
Yeah,
that's quite a journey. So
yeah. right.
Well, it looks awesome. So yeah, so now you're gonna have a farm of 3D printers coming up soon, and
yeah, so it's kind of neat now. It's kind of neat to sort of marry the two now, because like I can do sculpting and illustration now. So then you're like, well, what does that mean when you put them together? And apparently that's Astra Fauna. That's what that is for me.
And now I'm going to introduce you to the AR aspect of it. You're going to fall in love with it because you're going to be like, wait, you can do that. Wait,
right?
Wait till I show you what the AR can do, because it's pretty freaking cool.
That's cool.
So, I don't know if you do VR, anything like that. So
I did Beat Saber once, and I really liked it. I did. It was good. It was funny. It was funny because I've done some fighting. Like I've done Shotokan karate. I've done some sword fighting and stuff like that. And so like they put I had both hands with like the little sticks, and they were like doing Beat Saber, and you just have to move your hands. Except like my body couldn't just do that. Like I was doing footwork and I was like dodging and left and right.
You do it like I do.
Yeah, like I couldn't not do. And people are like, "You're going way extra. You don't have to do all this."
No, I do it. I do Beat Saber like a kickboxer. The same thing. You do full body because when you use your whole legs and stuff. Yep. Yeah, same thing.
It was exactly that way. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. My friend Cookie and I, we played Pop 1. You might like that too. It's Population 1. She's on the chat right now, and we play Population 1, and you might really like that game because it's a battle royale type game, and you do the same thing. You climb, you're down, you're up, you're climbing, you're shooting, you're doing it, and it's teams of 3, and it's you might like that if you do it. If you sound a lot like me, so
yeah, so I probably would like it.
Yeah. So if you have a VR headset, you might like Pop 1, and definitely, and you do Beat Saber like I do. So because I'm down, I'm ducking, I'm over, I'm on, and I broke my lamp doing Pop 1. I punched it. I punched a hole in my daughter's peach tea with I had my ring on. I punched a hole in it, and all of a sudden peach tea is shooting out of it.
Oh no.
So she's like, I'm like, peach tea. And she's just like, Mom. And I'm like, this little tiny hole, and this peach tea just shooting across like all the art stuff. And she's like, Mom.
Oh no.
So yeah. So it's fun though. Things artists do for exercise. So but anyway, I think I'm interested to see where it comes artwork wise, where where it goes into AR and stuff. So I'm keeping an eye on that, and like I said, that's I want to show you that program for. I think that since you have the ZBrush models already, you might want to play with it a little bit because you already have them done. It's super easy. So
right, yeah.
There's Evil's just at high in the bottom. That's my friend Cookie who plays Pop 1.
Oh, nice.
So you should come play with us sometime. So anyway, but any other advice for other artists that are out there wanting to do art and struggling or what have you with the current nature of everything going on in the illustration world, I guess?
I think the thing, I guess, kind of like twofold. It's like, first, I think you need to kind of recognize that, like, it's hard right now. Like, it legitimately is. You know, it's like the AI stuff is making it, you know, more challenging. Like, being an artist is hard, and the AI stuff has made it even harder. And so, like, I think that, like, it's, I don't know, you should kind of recognize the fact that, like, you are, I think there's like a difference. It's like when you engage, like, let's say you're playing a video game and you're like, I'm going to play this video game on hard mode, you know, and you like turn the dial to hard mode. You're like engaging in hard mode. And I kind of think like right now, the environment right now is you are playing the video game on hard mode. So you should just be aware that you're playing on hard mode. So if it's like frustrating, you're like, well, I am playing the video game on hard mode. And I hope it gets easier. I definitely do. But right now it really does feel like you're on hard mode. So just aware, just recognize that, you know, if things might take longer, things might be harder, you know, and that's okay. It's just, and it's not anything you're doing. You're not doing anything wrong, you know, it's just things are kind of set to hard mode right now. And then the other thing that I would do is, you know, like if you're a young artist, of course, you know, work on your portfolio. Like I worked on my portfolio, like all the time. Don't get tendinitis. Don't get tendinitis. Like, don't work on your portfolio so much you get tendinitis like I did. But I worked on my portfolio a lot, and it was worth it and stuff like that. Just if you start getting pain and everything, calm down. Don't be like me. And honestly, really, the big thing right now.
Don't be like me. You become an illustrator.
Yeah, don't like. But don't work until you can't hold your pencil anymore. Just don't do that, you know. But like, if like the thing that I'm really on now is, I kind of am living my life with a make your own table sort of mindset. It's like a lot of people are like, oh, if this company gives me a job, like I'll be so happy. Or if this company gives me a job, I'll have made it or whatever. And like, I've kind of played that game and it didn't really satisfy me. And the thing that's kind of really enriching my life and my being, if you're religious, you could say soul, is that like making a personal project or your IP or something that is yours that you control, that you can put out into the world. Like I really am enjoying that. Like, so like rather than trying to be like, oh my God, can I have a seat at your table? Can I have a seat at your table? Make your own table. And then you can invite people to your table. And I think that that's been really great for me is because now that I've made a table, like I am getting people who are like, oh, you know, do you want to color everyone this? Or, you know, I saw this, like, do you want to work on my project too? So it's sort of like, it's kind of crazy. It's like, what is that? The don't chase, attract sort of thing. It's like, you know, don't try and catch butterflies, plant a garden. So like plant your own garden, make your own table, and people will come to you. And I'm not saying like, don't send out your portfolio and don't send out raise it. Just like be aware that I think it'll be something very nourishing for you to make your own thing. And then eventually it'll be a big enough thing that people will start coming to you.
People can see your passion in it too.
Yeah.
They'll look at your work and they can see how passionate you are about it. And they're like, wow, your work is really good because you're excited by it. And then, you know, so your work is naturally going to be awesome because you're excited, and they'll see how good it is. And then they'll want you involved with their work because they can see, you know, they see your excitement.
Right.
Automatically.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah. And that comes through. I don't like, it's strange. It's like, it always comes through though. Like every single artist I know, like you can tell the pieces that they like love, you know, you can really tell when they're making something and it's like from their heart. And it's so like, I don't know how you inject that into a piece. Like you can tell when like there's a piece that like has like no meaning for them, and like it'll still be professional. Because like you're a professional artist, so you're gonna make a professional piece, and then you can really tell the piece that like they loved though. It's just like that little bit better, you know.
And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm working on a piece that I'm not excited about, I have to kind of rethink it to find a way to get excited about it. I'm like, all right, how can I make this exciting for myself? Because I'm just not excited about this. So I'm like, how can I get this exciting? Because this is not exciting. But and that's the only way I can make it good. But you can definitely tell if an artist is excited by a piece or not excited by a piece. So because you can just see the passion in it.
Yeah.
So for sure. So, all right. So people can find you at astrafauna.com, astrafauna.com. And then you're not at Dragon Con, but what show you're done with shows for a while, right?
My next one is PAX Unplugged, and that's in early December, in Philadelphia. That's the next place you can see me. Yep.
So
PAX is a great show. That was like last year I went there, and oh man, the crowd was so cool. They were wonderful. I love the people at PAX.
I haven't been to that one, so I haven't been to that one. I've Dragon Con next, and I see your dog in the background.
Oh yeah, that's Ink. Hi, buddy.
Hi, buddy. So, he's looking at you. Like, so cool. And then very awesome. So, anything else you want to share with him, Ruba?
I think I'm good. I think we got like dogs in the background still. If you had any last questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or I'm good.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for being on the show, and keep making awesome art. And
thank you.
Your creatures are so cool. Do you have a Kickstarter coming up or anything?
Not really. But the best thing is, like, if you follow me, the place I'm most active is my Facebook. So if you're just on my Facebook, you'll know I'm on Facebook a lot. I yell about my stuff all the time. I'm just like, I'm doing a thing. So yeah, just go on my Facebook. You can find me with my name, Sarah Dahlinger, Astra Fauna, and that will get you what you need.
I'm on your Facebook, so yay. So cool. All right. Well, thank you for being on the show. And everybody, thank you for joining us. You have been listening to The Professional Artist live in the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 in New Orleans. And I will talk to you next week. So take care and keep making some awesome art.